Alright guys, I'm back with another pair of Rick Owens, this time some real boots which I've been wanting for a while. I toyed with getting Bozo boots. I think they're cool, but not exactly what I was looking for. Then I saw these, which I'm 90% sure were new for Fall-Winter 2022 strobe, though they actually heavily reference a model that is a decade old at this point, which I'll discuss later. I praised the box in my mainline Ramones video, and it's the same hefty design here, but even bigger. Very imposing in person, but maybe not quite big enough. The boots slightly intersect each other, which is probably fine with equivalent height Bozos, but on these, the floppy-ass elephant ear tongue on my left shoe got crinkled under the pressure. Not very happy about that, to be honest. Just like the Ramones and every other pair of Rick footwear for that matter, a suspiciously high-quality tote bag with an embroidered Rick Owens logo is included. Feel free to bring it on your next art gallery visit to flex on all the other hipsters, or feature it prominently on your social media platforms so everyone knows that you buy your Rick brand new. So here they are in all their glory. Pretty tall, laceless boots. Despite the eyelets, there are no laces included in the box. For some Rickstorians, these might look kind of familiar, and that's because they seem to be heavily based on a model that I've wanted for a long time, the laceless Ramones boot. The oldest live page I could find referencing these was from Spring/Summer 14 Vicious. I feel like they're a little bit older than that, maybe by a year or two. This was the go-to shoe for Rick himself for a while, and I just always loved them. With the original model, it's literally just an extended height Ramones sneaker, but it changes the look into something more gothic, almost armor-like, as if it's a shin guard. Now that original model hasn't been produced since like 2015, I never got my hands on them, but these Geth army boots are pretty close. This seems to be a trend for Rick lately. We've got pretty much one-to-one reissues of classics like the Vans, the Anthem jack boots, and the cargo baskets have come back in a big way as a mainstay model in the past few years. So the first big difference between these and the original model is the leather. It's still cow leather, but the finish is completely unlike the original Ramones boots, or even the mainline Ramones in my previous video. It's a lighter weight upper, and instead of the natural supple-grained finish of the Ramones, it has a buffed finish with a waxy feel that is more befitting of a boot. It's nice and soft, but to be honest, I don't think it feels nearly as luxurious as plain Ramones. However, I do understand why this makes more sense on a boot. This is going to be more resistant to water, dirt, grime, and it will likely hold its form much better over time, unlike the old model which got super creased up. The old ones also appeared to have a raw edge on the leather of the tongue, which exposed the grain, while these have a clean finished edge. I thought I'd also mention that these don't have that really nice smell like the Ramones. There's almost no smell at all. The biggest difference though is clearly the sole. As the name would imply, this features the Geth sole which debuted with the Geth runners, although it actually reminds me a lot of the Adidas Tech runners, which I was always a big fan of. What I did not realize about this design before getting these in hand is that the platform is 2.5 inches, making these the tallest shoes I've ever owned. In terms of design, it's a very architectural look, and the way it juts out at the back kind of visually balances out the extended tongue from the side profile. I have to say that I'm not in love with the Geth sole. I wish it was at least polished, like some of the Tractors, instead of this plain matte finish, which looks a bit raw to my eye given its size. Though I will say that I enjoy the almost anti-heel drag design it has in the back. With these two main changes, the buffed leather and the Geth sole, I'd say the tone of the boot is less of that grimy, gothic look of the original and more futuristic sci-fi. It also looks like an actual boot now, rather than a sneaker that has been extended into a boot. Not only does this ditch the traditional Rick sneaker sole, but the toe cap is gone as well. As much as I like the original, this more aggressive, militaristic, sleek look is just right on the money for what I'm trying to do lately. I fucking love the way these look, and I love wearing them even more. This is just one of those looks that you can't replicate. You have to go to Rick, it's utterly unique and awesome. The on-trend look right now is to wear boots that are visually large at the bottom, like Bozo tractors, that sort of ground the outfit, and then go for a wide leg or flared pant to billow over them. That's certainly the look that Rick has been sending down the runway for the past few seasons with bull and banana pants and the like. These Geth army boots are the complete opposite. They start slimmer at the bottom and get wider up top, making it so that your pants are tucked into the boot. I've been really into that look lately. It feels very military, but with these, it becomes like 2070 military looking with how radical the tongue and laceless look are. And with the big-ass floppy tongue, you basically have infinite space for any length or material thickness of pant. When it comes to sizing, this is super easy. Go true to size for a very snug fit, which I think you'll want with this laceless slip-on design. I am a true size 9 US EU 42, and compared to my mainline Ramones of the same size, other than the toe area, there is almost no extra wiggle room in these, but not to the point of being uncomfortable. This stitched piece of leather at the lower third of the tongue is doing the heavy lifting when it comes to keeping your foot secured. Half sizes seem to be hard to come by in these, but whatever you do, do not size down, at least if you want to use the insole. Speaking of which, removable insoles. Here they are. They are not the same as those found in the newer mainline Ramones, and they are also not nearly as comfortable. The comfort level in these boots is moderate, I would say. Again, the fit is very snug, which is nice. My foot isn't sliding around in there, though the 2.5-inch platform is a bit of a weird feeling. It's not tall enough to affect my walk cycle, but you really can't feel the ground at all in these. You just feel that Geth sole, which is like a wedge under your foot. They are at least super easy to get on and off though. Of course laceless, and the zipper is that same beefy zip you find on other Ricks, just super tall here, but it's much easier to use than something like the Ramones due to the stiffer leather. Pricing is not very good. Retail on these was like $1,600 in the US, truly insane. I got them a few months back from a UK retailer when the pound was tanking, and ended up paying just under 1K. On most sales, you'll find these for about 1.2K. Even at that price, the value proposition is just not there. As I always say in these videos, these are luxury designer products. You don't go in expecting a good value, but these are exceptionally overpriced in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with them, but they don't feel as nice in hand as Geobaskets or Ramones, despite costing quite a bit more, and the sole appears to be attached to the upper with only adhesive, as opposed to the stitch that Rick's classic sole uses. Compared to those sneakers, it is a lot more leather and a lot of uninterrupted leather at that, but at over 1K, you could get Guidi boots for less, and those will outclass these dramatically in both material and build. I could make an argument for some Rick shoes being worth it with the right discount, but by every metric with these, you are paying a hefty premium for the look and brand, which is kind of upsetting when he has other shoes that I feel like offer quite a bit of luxury and even value. That's not to say that I don't think these will hold up. The sole is massive and solid, and the upper feels quite resilient, and will probably continue to look new compared to the Ramones due to the buffed treatment. The only notable point of failure is, again, the way the sole is attached to the upper. So as a pair of designer boots that look cool, I absolutely love these, and they've instantly become one of my favorite pairs of shoes. To me, that big extended tongue is iconic, and I've never seen anything else that looks quite like it. These also encapsulate what Rick has been doing lately, maybe not on the runway, but definitely with the retail products. A lot of straight up re-releases, but also remixes of older motifs. It's a really cool update on that old Ramones boot design, and it fits with the newer, cleaner looking Rick stuff a lot better. Again, I'm a little let down by the in-hand feel relative to the price. If this is how all Rick boots feel, that's kind of unfortunate. If you really want these for the look though, I think you'll be extremely happy. I know I am. Just know that it's very much pay to play. Well, that's all I've got for these. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.